Well, we have success. We have success to report, and I can explain exactly what I did today. And I'm learning how to optimize this. I think that what will happen, that the eventual evolution of all this will be that the sports books will probably not take your wagers or prevent you from using their account if you bet on the same team, sorry, both teams in the same game. I think that's where they're going to draw the line, at least on this, even though you can apply it to over-unders as well. I think that's where it's going to start because it's just too predictable that there will be game flows, and there's no way for the sports books to stop the massive fluctuation in line change because it is the true market value of the game at that point. What you're really taking advantage of with this strategy is you're finding areas where a massive expectation of who might win or lose is going to change abruptly and multiple times throughout the game also to give you so many opportunities to make the proper wager. So I'm up right now and I have open wagers right now, and it's really been smooth sailing once I realized how to handle each game. So let's talk about what I did with both hockey and college basketball, where I won, where I lost, where I made mistakes, where I wasn't paying attention, and where I was paying attention because there's a huge difference. So first, let's start with hockey because there's fewer games. So I said, take St. Louis in this game, they might get up, and then bet Ottawa if St. Louis gets up. I did bet St. Louis a little more than a unit. I actually ended up putting like a unit and a half because I kept betting them because they kept going down and they just got destroyed. So this was too much on one game. Messed with my profitability a little bit here. I never got a chance to bet Ottawa. This was straight down. So when it comes to, like defending yourself against the accusation of arbitrage, you have to say, listen, when I bet on St. Louis at the beginning of the game, I do not know they're going to get off too late. I do not know that Ottawa will ever have a more better than even money plus 100 or greater line the whole game. And in this situation, it did not. And I just straight up lost. Okay. So that can happen. So that's why I'm wondering if they're actually going to ban my account for arbitrage or not. I think they will eventually, but this is a case for it not being straight up arbitrage. It's just you could lose if your team never ever does anything. So that was a loss. This game was very interesting. So I didn't bet the game at the beginning. I did after Nashville got down 2-0 at plus 430 or something. Glance at my phone real quick to see what I actually got on them. I got a ridiculous line when they were down 2-0. And that line was plus 900 is what I got them at. I got them at plus 900 for half a unit. So I was like, this is ridiculous. They came back and tied this game up late. Before I got a chance, because I figured it would go to overtime and then I could cash it out then. Before I got a chance to cash it out or look at Minnesota's line, Minnesota scored like 20 seconds later, and I lost this bet completely. And this was a bet that paid 9-1, and I probably could have cashed out for almost half in that 20 seconds if I had been paying attention. So this is a loss because I wasn't attentive, but it was a phenomenal line. And they did come back because it's hockey to tie. So that's a loss, but a mistake on my part. I'm still up for the day. Let me explain why. So here's this game. I said don't bet Edmonton, Colorado game at the beginning because these lines are not at a wide enough spread to make any value yet. Edmonton got up 2-0 or 2-0 or 3-0. When they were 2-0, I bet Colorado. I got them. Sorry, maybe they were down 1-0. I got them at plus 200. That's right. I got them at plus 200 when they were down 1-0. That's the only wager I put on that game. They managed to come back late and win. I never got a chance to bet Edmonton because it was just so late when they came back, but I won that bet at 2-1. Okay. So once again, I didn't get a chance to actually do the arbitrage on this game or this game or this game. All three of them, I missed it all. Yet, look, I hit 2-1 on this one, and had I bet one unit on each of these games, I'm even now for the day, which is about what happened. All right. Now let's keep going. What did I say to do here? I was like, maybe take Chicago at the beginning of the game. I didn't. Toronto got down 3-1. I took them at plus 240. So all I had to do is take Chicago at the beginning of the game, and I was going to make a unit and a half net profit by doing this game. I took Toronto comes back. Toronto comes back, makes it 3-3 before I got a chance to cash it out or make. I was actually looking at the bet on Chicago, and I was about to make the bet on Chicago, and then Chicago scored and made it 4-3, and I missed it. And I missed that one too, and I lost this one. Another accidental mistake. I 100% should have won money arbitraging this game and totally missed it. Right? So this is another loss. I'm still up to date. I'll show you why. Here's a game where I won money. I did not start and bet Winnipeg, but I almost did. I waited. They got up 2-1. I took Jersey when they got up 2-1. Jersey was at plus 180. Okay. So I bet that. They come back to take the lead 3-2. And then I bet on Winnipeg then at plus like 460. So I was free rolling with arbitrage in this game between 460 and 180, which means I was guaranteed 0.8 units net profit at least here. And if Winnipeg had come back tied up and won, I was going to get 3.6 units net profit, right? Well, New Jersey held on to win, and I profited on this game simply because of arbitrage. I didn't even need to make that bet on Winnipeg at the end, but I did it as a safety because I saw what happened in the Chicago game when I missed it. And you got to do it because that's how you guarantee profit in every game. So Winnipeg wins. I win 0.8 units there. This game, I have Columbus because they dropped down 2-0. That is an open bet right now. And Columbus made it 2-1, I believe. Yeah, it's 2-1 closing on the end of the second period. I could actually cash this out for a profitable bet right now because I have them at plus 430, which is the line I got them at when they were down 2-0. They come back to tie it up. That's when I'll make the bet on Arizona at plus something as well and be guaranteed a win. Still rooting for Columbus most likely, unless Columbus goes up 2 goals real fast and I miss it and then I bet Arizona or something. So this game is working out right now. Now they could lose and Arizona could score to the goal and I could lose it completely and never get a chance to bet Arizona. That can still happen. But I could also cash out this bet right now for slightly of a profit. They're offering me actually only about less than 5. They're offering me like 3% profit on cash out right now. So I really need them to come back and tie it up 2-2. All right, so that's hockey, and we're watching that game. Now let's go over to college basketball. So 13-12 so far. There's a Boise State UNLV game going on right now. And UNLV is down by 6. We're expecting Boise State to win this game at home. Okay. So what happened? Where did I win? Where did I lose? I'm going to start with my losses first to show you what I did wrong. So I took some huge underdogs before the game started or very early. Those were well, St. Bonaventure was down a ton, and that's why I took them. But let me just look at everything real quick here. St. Peter's, I took at plus 750. So I took this right here because they were home. Bad idea. They got walloped. I lost everything. Couldn't even ever wager on Iona. Okay. I took IUP as well. Tried this here. Same problem. I took them plus 1,300. They never got close. I never was able to cash out. So taking a huge dog to start off the game, not necessarily a good strategy because they can get walked over. That's actually what's supposed to happen. So you got to see some of the game first, which is why live betting is better. So those were bad. Then I started figuring out what to do. There was the NC State game and North Carolina game, which I talked about in the video. I talked about doing this. I saw this as being a close game. I took NC State at plus 164, and I took North Carolina at plus 158. So I won. It didn't matter. And I did that in the second half. There were multiple opportunities to do that as North Carolina got ahead and then fell behind and lost. So won money there, easy money, simple arbitrage. Okay, done. Ryder Quinnipiac. Oh my goodness, did I win money on this game? So let me tell you what happened here. In this game, I saw that it was going to be kind of close. These teams just played each other, 4% margin. Ryder got off to a little lead and they had a positive line. And I go, okay. I go, Quinnipiac, sorry, yeah, this was about tied and Ryder had a big positive line. I took Ryder's positive line of plus 220 very early in the game. And I said, if they can get ahead, then you can get this Quinnipiac line, who I actually think will win at a positive line. I did. I got two bets on Quinnipiac at plus 430 and plus 210. I got both of those lines at. So get this. Ryder went ahead by like 9 points or something in the first half. I cashed it out as I made the Quinnipiac bet. So I got what I ended up cashing out with on that plus 220 was not the full 220. I ended up betting $10 and cashed 24.83. So I got 14.83. So I got plus 140 in my cash out. Okay. During this game, when they went ahead, Quinnipiac comes all the way back and wins this in double overtime. I had multiple opportunities to cash out my Quinnipiac bets, and I did cash out the one that was at 430 for 26.50 or a 1.6 unit profit. So I cashed one of them out, let the other one go at plus 210, and they won. So I got 210 plus 140 or 350 is what I netted on Quinnipiac, and I netted 1.4 or whatever on Ryder. So it was an unbelievable game where I played the flows of that game properly, and the home team came back to win, which is what you would expect from the algorithm. And it was an enormous multi-unit payout. And I saw the potential of doing it this way, saying, oh, well, yeah, right as you're about to bet the other team, you can also cash out that first bet oftentimes. And it's looking really good. And they're giving you a disproportionate amount because team's up by like 8 or 9. And that's exactly what happened. College basketball and basketball in general, excellent sport to do that in. So this one game here really put me on the path to winning. I bet on Canisius, expecting them to take a lead and Mount St. Mary's to go plus, which didn't happen late, and I lost this bet and never was able to arbitrage it. So lost there. What else? I had Marist when they went down, and they won, and I got a Marist line. I didn't get to bet the other side of it, but they came back to win. I got Marist at plus 320 because they're home. Took a home team, and I know Niagara's not a great team. I saw low powers here on these teams. And you can bet against a bad team on the road. And Niagara is a pretty bad team at 35%. And so Marist took that plus 320. That's a winner. What else? The St. Bonaventure game. St. Bonaventure went down. Oh, yeah, that's actually a great lesson in betting. St. Bonaventure was a home team with a super close margin. George Washington was leading this game by a lot for most of the game, including I think they had like a 10-point lead with 3 minutes left. I had never been able to get a bet on GW for some reason at the beginning. I missed it, and that was the problem here. But I thought St. Bonaventure can come back. I got 2 bets on St. Bonaventure, one at plus 800 and the other at plus 196. When this game went super late and got super close, I think it went to overtime or something. Yeah, I think it probably went to overtime. It was really, really close late. They came back, I believe, tied it. I cashed both of those bets out, and even though they lost, I won money. I won 0.7 units plus, oh my God, I won 7-1 when they were plus 800. That's right. They took the lead in overtime and blew it. In overtime, I cashed out the plus 800 for 700, right? They gave me 700, 7-1 on a game that I lost. Talk about ridiculous, right? That's what happened there. It was only a half unit bet, but it was 7-1. And I win even though they lose. Just the advantage of the cash out. So you mix arbitrage with in-game cash outs, and that is a powerful, powerful strategy. I'm not dependent on any of these necessarily like following the grid of exactly what happens. It's just if the game flow fluctuates, and the greater it fluctuates, the better. And you time your bets, and it is so tough to lose. You have to have teams go straight ahead, win, and you never get a chance to hit the other side for that to happen. So this puts me up, and I'm betting on a couple things right now. For example, here's one. I can't show it on the screen because I don't have an algorithm for it. The XFL game. There's a DC Defenders versus Seattle Sea Dragons. This defenders started down 7-0, and I got them at plus 194. They've come back to take the lead. They're offering me a cash out right now of almost 2-1. Well, what I'm not supposed to necessarily take it. I'm supposed to go look at what the odds on the Sea Dragons are, because they're going to be positive right now. The Sea Dragons odds are plus 194. So we're just going to bet it right now, because when we do that, we have now, no matter what happens, we've guaranteed ourselves 0.94 units. And I have the option of even waiting in that game to see if their plus line gets even better, to see if they pull some kind of crazy super late comeback, then you get paid even more. You're basically free rolling on that ability. It's an interesting way to watch the game, because you're just wanting things to get more spread out and then collapse and change lead. And anytime that happens, you're going to profit if you start doing that. So I just guaranteed profit in that game. And that's why I think the odds makers and FanDuel and the sports books are going to have to look at that and say, I mean, he's like, I guess that's arbitrage. However, had the defenders not come back, I would have lost that bet. So how 100% is it? It's definitely not 100%. You're not going to hit every game, but you're going to hit a lot of games, and you're going to get paid that multiplier when the fluctuations are great. So I fully expect my account to get banned, and I expect to get an email saying, yeah, we just choose not to offer your action because we've noticed that. And they can just call it arbitrage. And I'll ask them, I will ask them to clarify if I do get that email. I just want to know, like, I'm doing everything on the same website in the same game. You're just telling me I'm not allowed to bet on both sides of the game. Like, is that a policy? And if that becomes a policy across the board, I'm sorry, guys. I did it. I ruined everything. But I also wanted to legitimately beat them on the same sportsbook website, just making straight bets, which is exactly what we're doing right here. And I mean, it's one day, but the way in which I'm winning, and also the mistakes I made that I'm not going to make again, I will probably make them again, but I'll try not to make them again. Those mistakes about betting huge dogs early is not the way to do this. It's betting the team you think is going to win at a dog line when they're behind. And then if they come back, you absolutely get the dog line on the original dog, and it's probably even more juicier than normal. You bet them both, like I just did with the defenders, and you guarantee yourself 0.94 units while not even caring what happens in the game. You kind of care what happens in the game, because usually the two lines you have are different, and so you're rooting for one of them, the one that pays better. But in that situation, what I just did, I think they're both at plus 194. Yeah, they're both at exactly plus 194, so it literally does not matter. If anything, I can start to look at potential cash out options and see if there's a sneaky way to cash something out late, and then maybe get another team to come back super late and get paid on both of them profitably, which is another option. It never, ever ends. And it just seems like, yeah, they're offering me, I have a $20 bet on the defenders. They're offering me 43.21 to cash it out right now. It could pay up to 58. So they're offering me 43, could pay another 15. The other bet is offering me $11 to cash out on a $20 bet. You add the two together, and that's $54-ish on $40 bet. Right? And that's if you cash it out. I could cash out the 43 and then cross my fingers and hope the Seattle Sea Dragons come back, and that one, will pay 58. So there's lots of ways to do this where you're guaranteeing yourself a win every time, because as long as you can cash out one of those bets for more than even money, 100 plus 100, so $20 wager I have there, as long as they're offering me more than $40 cash out, I could take it, and I'm free rolling on the other pick. I mean, talk about can't lose. That's what can't lose looks like. So fascinating stuff. I am certainly getting ready for my account to be banned, and I will hang that on my mantle as a trophy of beating sports betting in aggregate. All right, good luck. May all your picks be winning, and I will continue to do this until I get my account banned, and we'll see. They're going to notice when I try to cash out, and then they do the check on what I've been doing after I cash out. That's when I would expect to get the email. We'll do this and we'll build the account balance. I want to build it to a point where I'm not super livid when they try to not give me the cash out. So we'll try to like get it to like $1,000, right? And when we get it to $1,000, we'll try to like pull 500 out and see what happens. Because we're going to be over a couple hundred today, the way things are going, and we'll see what it's at. And we'll continue to do this because this is nonstop. You can do this on any sport in any game we're expecting lead fluctuations. So, for example, the All-Star game in NBA that's going on right now, that game is plus 120 for Team LeBron. That's a game that's going to have lead changes and craziness. It's an All-Star game. So if any of those lines get above plus 150, I'm taking one of those teams, and I'm going to sit back and wait for the other team to come back, and I'm going to take that team, and we're going to win on that game. That's pretty much, it's not 100% as we're seeing, but it's not that it's even more than, I don't know what percentage of those games are going to have lead changes. I would guess probably about 75% of them off the top of my head. But it's not even just the nominal amount of how many of those games do that. It's how they fluctuate and the lines available. And the lines, the whole premise behind what we're doing here is the lines are changing disproportionately, ridiculously to reality, is what I have seen. So I'm like, how do you take advantage of that? The answer is you have that distorted line on both sides of the game, and you're going to profit. So good luck. I hope your picks win. I hope you find a way where it doesn't matter if your picks win and you always win. Good luck.